Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing my palette ranking for all of the eyeshadow palettes that I used in the month of May. As always, I'm doing this by usage, but if you would rather I do it by my preference, then I can always switch it up. But we have been doing by usage, like how many times have we used the palette for that month, and it seems to be what the people want. But if the people want to change that, you need to let me know. Anyway, I went through quite a lot of palettes in May. It was a pretty good month. If I've counted correctly, there's 22 palettes in front of me, which is quite a lot. But anyway, let's get started with the ones that I used only one time. That means I only went into it on one day in May. I might have gone into multiple shades on that first use, but I only went into it one day. So I've got 9 palettes in this category. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Cosmic Beauty 'Tis the Season palette. This was recently rolled into a No Pan Left Behind, so I'm definitely going to be using it more this month. But I did only end up going into it once in May, and I actually have already gone into it this month, so I definitely know I'm going to go into it quite a bit more. But yeah, only the once in May. As always in this video, if I do have a video or a picture that I took with a makeup look when I use the palette, I will have it up for you. So it'll show up at some point. This is like when you can actually see all the looks I do every single month. So hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, I only went into this once. I think I did end up going into multiple shades when I went into it, but I can't for the life of me at this moment in time remember what I went into. I think it was My Shop, My Stash, but you let me know. I mean, maybe that was the month prior. I don't know. I mean, we're already in June. Where is the time going? Another one where I only used it once is the Let's Pop from Gloss Gods. So this one I definitely know I went into this green. This was part of the Get Ready With Me where I'm trying to match the color. I did random color generator, and so I had to find a shade in my collection that matched the color, and I ended up pulling the green in this palette. But this is a fun little palette. But yeah, I only ended up going into this one, and that was only what, like a week ago? So wasn't two, actually no, 2 weeks ago, but 2 weeks ago for me, a week ago for you. But yeah, this one was a fun one. So yeah, I remember that one specifically. I also went into my Alter Ego Artemis palette just the one time too. This was for that same video where I was trying to match a shade, and I remember I went into this cream to powder shade called Captivate for that look as well. It was like a burnt orange, like dark burnt orange color that I was trying to match, and I felt like that was the one that matched the best. So okay, moving on, we have a new palette. I'm getting this all dirty though, but you know, it is what it is. It's gonna happen in my collection. I can't keep things clean. There's eyeshadow everywhere. But this is the Silver and Cold from Divaroon Cosmetics. It's the first time I've tried this brand, and so it was a brand new palette for me, and I did end up going into this one time. I did use it with my channel members. I would absolutely love to go into this more and do some more looks. It's on the plan to do. It's on my agenda. I just don't know when that's going to pop up, but I'm definitely going to go into this more. Some of these shades are just really beautiful, and just, I don't know why I'm swatching, but I'm swatching. They're just absolutely gorgeous, so I can't wait to dip my fingers in them at least another time to show you. But yeah, they're very, very icy, and it's just up my alley, this type of thing. I just really think it's beautiful. So anyway, definitely this one is one that I can play around with more. I did end up going into my What's Up Beauty Dragon's Eye palette. This was a continuation of, because I had this in my No Pan Left Behind. So I was trying to finish that in May, and I did end up finishing it. So, but I only ended up going into it once because I think I went into 3 or 4 shades that let me finish it. So anyway, yeah, this one I went into it one day, but I used multiple shades for the look to finish that project. But yeah, I always love this palette. It's a fun palette. Next up, I also went into the Call of the Sirens from Gourmand Girls once. This is also in a project. This is currently in my Pan in Every palette. This is what this one looks like, and I'm working on this shade right here. But as you can see, I don't have a pan yet, but I have been really enjoying this. I feel like I've gone into this more, but it's because I've gone into it in June. So that's why I feel like, hang on a minute, I only went into it once, but only once in May. in June, I've already gone into it. So I'm working my way to try to hit the pan. Another one that I have already gone into this month, I actually have it on my eyes today. It's the kind of the green that I have on my lids, is the Galactic Visitor. I'm working on a shade in my Pan Nose eyeshadows. It is this one right here. But yeah, this palette overall in May only went into it once, so definitely wasn't a focus of mine, but I think it should be a focus of mine this month, just simply because I feel like I could probably hit pan in that, and I'm getting my momentum. I'm getting the groove back of hitting pan, and I actually, spoiler, just hit a pan today for this look. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but maybe in this video you'll be able to figure it out, because I'm obviously not going to show you the palette. Right? I'm not going to show you the palette. So maybe I've just spoiled it there. But yeah, I'm getting excited about hitting pan again. Okay. Anyway, the last palette that I only went into one time is also a brand new palette for me, a brand new brand for me, Titanium Fox. This is a Dying Day. This is not new by any means of theirs, but they just, you know, relatively recently came to Monolith. So I have been definitely browsing what they have on there, and I ended up getting this palette. And I did a look with my channel members, and this is one where I definitely want to go back into, and I want to do at least 3 looks with this, like a 3-look video, maybe more. There's just so much variety. It looks really fun, and I know this is supposed to be for autumn, but for me this looks very spring-like, so I definitely want to play around with it a little bit more. I lied. There's one more palette that I only used once. It is the Delicious Delights from Cosmic Beauty. This one, what did I go to this one for? Oh, yes, it was for the pink. I went into this pink shade for that color generator video. I completely forgot. This is a really good palette if I'm trying to find a color. I just feel like some of these colors are pretty unique in my collection, and they're all here in one place. So I've always ended up going to this palette. Overall, if I want to do a look, I can make a look obviously with it. I think it's very, very fun and bright and beautiful. But if I am trying to find a unique shade, I always feel like I end up going to this one, because they always have it. They have it in this one. It's such a good palette. It's really handy to have this palette in my collection, I have realized. Okay, I have 7 palettes here where I have gone into them only twice in the month of May. The first one here is my Project Level Up palette. So really I should have gone into this a lot more in May, but I just had a lot going on, and I think because I ended up with 3 brand new palettes in May as well, I was just like, oh, new shiny thing, let me focus on you guys, and I did drop the ball a little bit on everything else. But yeah, this is the color Rain from Gloss Gods. I did just do that update not too long ago for you. So this is what the palette is looking like. Obviously, you know, I've now hit all 5 pans that I need to for Project Level Up, but I still need to finish some of my quantity usage on some of these. But yeah, I only used this twice in May, which is not great, but I'm hoping I can pick it up this month and we can call it done for my next update. That is the goal. Okay, moving on. This is relatively new palette for me. I mean, it is a new palette for me. This was sent from What's Up Beauty. This is their new Skyfire, and I got this right at the beginning of May, and this is another one where I went into it. I did do, or maybe I got it right at the end of April, because I did do, I've only gone into it twice. I was thinking, have I not done 3 looks? I've done 2 videos. One video where I did 2 looks, and then the other video was just a comparison. So for some reason I was thinking, no, hang on, I went into it, but I didn't. This is really fun. This is really nice. And I do have a link, and it's an affiliate link in my description. So if you do buy anything from What's Up Beauty, it would be lovely if you use my link. I can get a little bit of a kickback. I don't currently obviously have a discount code for you to get any money off, unfortunately. I'm hoping that maybe that can come about. But I did see one of you at least used my link. So thank you very much for that, because I saw that, so thank you. But anyway, yeah, used this 2 times, and this was a really fun palette to receive, so really enjoy that one. And then I also use my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette twice. This is my Pan That palette in order. You know what? I'm not going to show you this one. I'm going to do my Pan That palette and my palette in order updates next week. So I feel like it's a little too close. I don't really want to be sharing what they look like, but given the fact that I only used this twice last month, maybe that gives you an idea. maybe it gives you an idea. So I've already hit pan in the first one for the project. It's the second shade that I am currently working on. And obviously you've seen the looks now I did with that shade. So yeah, that one, only used it twice. I also only used the Serenity twice. And this one as well, I'm not going to show you what it looks like. I know I'm annoying. I'm annoying, but I used this twice. You can see the looks that I did with this palette. This is currently in my Pan Those eyeshadows. And obviously, I mean, if you follow my channel, you kind of know what mine looks like. You know what shade I'm working on. Maybe you don't. Maybe you'll be surprised. But this, you'll find out from my Pan Those eyeshadows, right? If there's anything going on in here. Maybe. Who knows? Moving on, we have the new neutrals from Gloss God. So this one, no spoiler here because I did speak about it already and it's not in a project anymore. This was a No Pan Left Behind and I did finally finish that. So it's been in my drawers now since I filmed that update. But this one I did end up going into twice in the month of May to finish up that project and obviously use the shades that I needed to use for the No Pan Left Behind. So yeah, really nice, fun, neutral with a twist palette. Moving on, we have another brand new one. I think this is the last brand new one for me to discuss with you. Yes, the Lavender Fields from Simply Posh. I've seen absolutely everyone buy this. There are so many videos of everyone trying the Simply Posh, and a lot of you said, oh, it's on order and everything. So whatever they did, they definitely hooked us with this release. I think it's the color story. It's a really beautiful color story. For me personally, I've never tried Simply Posh and I just thought, you know what? Maybe this is the time to try it. So as you know, I've already done a couple of videos with this one. I did use it for my Shop My Stash video, and then I also used it for another Get Ready With Me that I did, and this is what the palette looks like. It is really pretty in real life. I don't know how it comes across on camera because obviously the glare is quite reflective, but it is such a pretty palette, and I think what draws me to it is actually kind of, if you like neutrals, it's quite neutral, even though it has those beautiful muted shades. I think because it is muted, it's not like just simply like, oh, just a colorful palette. And then if you like color, maybe you might think it's a little too muted. I did have issues with the mattes for one of the looks, but then the second look I didn't have any issues. So for me, it's kind of like, it's a palette that I still need to explore. I've done 2 looks, but I need to gather my thoughts. It's more about the formula really for me. I do think the color story is pretty, but I don't know if at the end of the day the color story is what makes me happy, but that's the whole point of me buying this, was because of the color stories. So anyway, okay, and then I went into the Lovers from Cosmic Beauty twice as well. This one I've also gone into quite a bit in June, even though June just started. So I'm working my way on this one. This is what it looks like, and I am trying to hit pan in this shade for my Pan Those eyeshadows. So there you have it. Actually, no, not my Pan Those eyeshadows, sorry. This is for my Pan in Every palette. But as you can see, it's not there yet, but I've been really enjoying it. You know what's interesting about this shade, and I've just only noticed it this week? I've always assumed this is just such a gorgeous pink shimmer, and it is. It is absolutely, like, it's very, very bright, very, very pink. But if you pair it with quite a muted brown matte shade, it is not as pink, and it is a lot more like wearable. It's not as like bright in your face because it has that duochrome, and the chromy part of it adds some depth and definition. There's also purple to this, so it's kind of an interesting one where I put this on my eyes today, and I don't think you're gonna notice that this is what I have on my eyes today because I've kind of blended it out in my outer corner into where I already had a dark matte. Not like a dark matte, but you know, like a darker matte, like a shading shade. And it doesn't have that bright reflective pink. So I've figured out a way to wear this where I can have it look like this and it's absolutely beautiful, but I can also kind of mute it out a little bit. I went to the bank yesterday and I wanted to like wear the shade, but I also didn't want to like have that shade like bright in the bank manager's face, right? You know, I wanted to have like you know what I mean? And I was able to do, like, obviously it's not in this video, I can't show you the look, but I've been able to figure out a way to wear the shade, and it can be really pretty and pink, or it can be more neutral. So that was really cool to figure out. So anyway, rant over, I used this twice. Okay, moving on. We have 3 palettes that I used 3 times. So a nice little good number there. I have the Astro Nova from Makeup Revolution. This one's also in a project. I'm working on the shade right here. Damn, if I had gone into it just a little bit more, maybe I could have hit pan, but you never know. That's the goal for this month, isn't it? But yeah, this one I've been using in my inner corner, and I think I don't think I went into anything else. So those are the 3 uses that I had with that one. I also went into my Avatar Earth palette 3 times. This is in my Pan Those eyeshadows, and I am trying to hit pan in this middle shade. No spoiler there, but can you see? I am so close. I think that by the time that I have my update for my Pan Those eyeshadows, which I think will be like the end of next week, something like that. I have it all planned out, but I don't know my head. I think I'm definitely going to have a pan. So I'm excited because anytime that I can hit pan in my Pan Those eyeshadows is a win-win, because I have just been so bad at that project recently. And then the other palette is also in my Pan Those eyeshadows. I use this 3 times in May as well. This one I still think is going to take a long time. I don't think that I am really close to hitting pan, but I don't know, maybe I am. But yeah, this was the shade that I'm working on. And I used the palette 3 times, and I don't think I went into any other shade but that one. It's just a shame because I have a lot of projects going on. I wish I could go into other shades in these beautiful palettes, but I just can't bring myself to do it. But that's why I have my palette takeover, because I feel like that lets me be free to use whatever shade I want to, and I don't even have to use all the shades of it. Like it gives me a little bit more freedom while still focusing on a palette. So I feel like that's a win-win in itself. Okay, there's one palette that I used 4 times, and it is my What's Up Beauty Desert Monsoon palette. This one is in my Pan in Every palette project, and the shade that I am trying to hit pan on is this one right here. You would have seen the update just recently. I think I just showed that yesterday. But yeah, this one, clearly no pan, but I did end up going into this one 4 times in May. And again, I've already gone into it quite a bit already this month because I'm really trying to focus on it. Okay, then I have my final 2 palettes that I used in May, and both of these I went into 5 times. So the first one here, no surprise, I have my Pan That palette for the year. I only use this 5 times, which is kind of lame. It's not very good, right? Because I've definitely slowed down on this, and I know I slowed down on it this last month I think because I had those new palettes. I had basically 4 new palettes in my collection, and I used all of them, some of them multiple times. So I think I definitely took a back seat on this, and I'm really trying to use it a little bit more now, obviously before my update next week. So I don't think I'm going to show you what this looks like because I don't really want to spoil anything. But yeah, this one I only used 5 times. I have tried to be using it though in June already. So we'll see if I have a good update for you next week. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll see how I can get done, how much I can get done in the next week. And then I also went into the What's Your Power. You would have just seen that video this week, but this one is from Gloss Gods, and this was my palette takeover for the last week of May, and I didn't plan on using it 5 times, but I did end up going into it 5 times. I did 5 different looks, and I really had a lot of fun with this one. So if you didn't watch my palette takeover, it's like a little bit of a makeup diaries, and I show you all the looks that I did with this palette, but obviously they're all here too. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and that's why I would love my takeover week now. It's been really eye-opening and really good. So those are all the palettes that I used in the month of May. I think it would be interesting to see if anything really changes in June. I'm really hoping that some of these palettes that have been lingering for so long, I finally get some pans. I mean, I have some updates, but I don't want to spoil them. So as you saw, there were certain things that I did not want to share with you. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.